The first thing we are going to say, the first little thing that I want to talk about is what is in this box. Okay, so if two straight lines are parallel, what does this mean? What does it tell us about the equations and the properties of the line? So what I'm asking is if we have two lines, so let me just draw a quick Cartesian plane for you like this. Okay, there's a Cartesian plane. And I've got two lines like that that are parallel to each other. This is line A and this is line B. What does it mean? What would those two lines have in common with each other? Who can tell me? Remember, it doesn't matter if you're wrong. If you just wanting to take a guess, that's also fine. I'm just very curious to hear what you can tell me about those. Okay, so Fatu, there is something about them that's equal. The whole equation won't be equal, but there is something about them that would be equal. What would be the same as each other? Jasmine.
The lines, the equal distance apart, 1. 2.
Good.
They both cross in the X and Y axis.
They do. Okay. These are all good things. So the lines are equal distances apart. Okay. That's it. So what Jasmine's meaning is this distance between them is the same for all of them. That's 100% right. Okay. Good. I like that. Oh, goodness. I also like what I saw that they are both increasing. That's also true. Okay. Yes, they're both 180 degrees because they're straight lines. What would you say about, okay, let's imagine a situation. Okay. Let's imagine a situation. Over here, we've got a num, and over here, we've got Fatu. Okay. They're in a race, and they have to run up these two hills. Do you think that the race is fair? Do you think that both of them have the same hill to run? What do you think? So we've got a num over here, and we've got Fatu over here. Do you think it's a fair race? Okay, so I see some people are saying yes. Yeah, I mean, it's a far race, for sure. Okay, so why are you saying it's fair? Why would you say it's a fair race? Why is this a fair race? I agree with that. I think it is a fair race, but why is it a fair race? Shiloh, can you tell me why it's fair?
The way I see it, right? Since the lines like they're parallel to each other, right? And they look like they're the same length. So they both have an equal amount of distance to run. Right?
Okay, but if I made that line longer, I'm still gonna say that it's a fair race.
Wait, oh, you made it longer? Oh no, it's not a fair race then.
No, it still is. It's still a fair race.
I remember how. What's let me give credit.
I'm trying to find out why this is fair, guys. Why is this fair?
Oh,
Who can tell me? Who can tell me why this is fair? Same distance, because so it's not about distance. It's not about distance. I'll do something next to it which might help you guys. Okay. So I'm going to draw myself another set of axes. Hello, and we're going to have a second race over here. Yes, Fatu, hi.
Hi, ma'am. I wanted to ask, when we're communicating, do we have to write it in the comments or we actually talk like this?
You can do either. Just if you are wanting to talk, just put your hand up first so that I can say your name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sure. Fatu, I see that hand there. Are you going to chat to me?
Ma'am, I wanted to say it's not a fair race because ma'am, look at Alnam's line, ma'am, like it's steeper than like my one.
No, but you're so close to why it is fair though. You're so close to why it's fair. Okay, so imagine this race that I've drawn on the right-hand side, and now I said that this is a num, and I said that this is Fatu. Now I will completely agree that that is not a fair race. In this situation over here, a num has a much harder race than Fatu has, but it's definitely a fair race on the left-hand side. So what's different about that left graph and that right graph that makes me say that they would be running an equal thing on the left, but not an equal thing on the right? Who thinks that they can try and figure it out now?
Aren't they parallel?
They are parallel. What does it mean if they're parallel though?
So, ma'am, it doesn't mean that they are both equal in length and height and
Not
steepness.
equal in length and height. No, but also Moabi, just remember to put your hand up when you want to chat. Fatu, what can you tell me here? I think you just forgot to put your hand up. Yes, the answers in the chat. The slopes are different. Yes, in this case, the slopes are different. Okay, and in this one, my slopes are equal. The steepness of the hill that they would have to run are equal. So when we have parallel lines, the steepness is the same. And if the steepness is the same, what does it mean that they would have the same thing as each other? What would be the same in their two equations? What would be equal? The gradient, yes, beautiful. Okay, so when we have parallel lines, our gradients are going to be equal to each other. That is the key thing to take from this. So when we have parallel lines, they have an equal gradient, which means their slope is exactly the same. Okay, so when we have parallel lines, they have an equal gradient. So let's have a look at this question over here. This is saying, determine the line parallel to y equals negative 3x plus 6 that passes through this point. So my first question to you is, in this equation over here, y equals negative 3x plus 6, what is my gradient? Okay, so in y equals negative 3x plus 6, what is my gradient? What is my gradient? Yes, geez, you guys are freaking geniuses. I love it. The gradient is negative 3. Okay.
That's awesome.
So if I have a parallel line, then my gradient of that parallel line is also going to be negative 3. Okay, because if this gradient is negative 3, then my parallel line will also have a gradient of negative 3. So for my parallel line right now, I know I've got negative 3x plus c. And I know that that's negative 3 because it has the same gradient. Okay. Now let's read the second part of this question. Second part of this question says that it passes through the points negative 1 and 2. So I still need to find c. Moabi, can you help me find c here? Or do you have a question? I saw that hand.
I had a question for
Sure.
y equals minus 3 plus. I couldn't see the last one, but I heard you say plus c.
Okay, okay. How do you guys think I'm going to be able to find C? I'm open to all suggestions. How could I find C? Tiana, how could I find C?
Babe, aren't we gonna look for the x and the y intercept first?
Okay, so the problem is that we don't have a line. We don't have a line that we can work with. The only information we have is everything in the sentence. So right now we know we have this, and we know that it passes through that point.
I don't know.
Let's see if someone will be able to help. Fatu, do you think you can help us?
Yes, ma'am. You have to substitute with the -1, the x with the -1.
Yes, good. Okay, so what we're doing here is we are looking for C. Okay, so we're looking for C. And when we're looking for C, we're going to sub in the point that our graph goes through. So it goes through -1 and 2. So we're going to sub those points in. Remember, this is X and this is Y. Okay, so we're going to say 2 is equal to -3 times -1 plus C, which means 2 is equal to +3 plus C. I'm going to move that 3 over. And so C is equal to -1. So they've asked us in this question, determine the equation of the line parallel that passes through this. Therefore, the equation of my line is -3x minus 1. And that's it. How do we feel about a question like this? Anam, yeah.
Ma'am, is this do you only have to give out this answer when you're answering?
Yes, so in this question, they're only asking for the equation of the line. They're not asking us to draw it. So we only have to
Okay.
give them the equation.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Not so bad. Hey, guys, not so bad. So the key here is to know that when something is parallel, it will have the same gradient. Okay, I'm just going to scroll down. I might end up actually going, okay, no, it's fine. We can do this one. Okay. So let's have a look here. Oh, sorry. If anyone wants to screenshot, please feel free to take one.
Time to shine. Let's go.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
I wanted to ask, what topic is this?
this is straight line graph.
It's what?
Straight line graph.
Oh, okay, okay. So is it graphs?
Yes,
Oh, okay, thank you.
sure. Moabi, is your hand still up from last time? Or is that a new question?
I still have a new question. What happened to 6? The number 6.
What happened to the number 6? Okay, so this equation over here, we don't need it anymore. The only reason we needed that equation was to find the gradient, because our gradients were parallel, which means our gradients were the same. So the rest of that equation we didn't need.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, cool. Let's try this one. So this one is saying, rewrite the equation 2y minus 3x plus 6 equals 0 in standard form. Who thinks they can tell me what they mean in a question? And they love questions like this, guys. What do they mean when they say rewrite this question in standard form? What do you think it means to be in standard form? Fatu, what do you think they're meaning?
Ma'am, do they mean that it has to be like a straight line, like constant gradient or what?
Yeah, sort of, exactly. So we need to have a single y on the one side. It needs to be equal to our gradient with x on the other side, and then we need our constant. Okay, so we need to rearrange this. So we need to move things around so that it looks like it's in this form. So I know that we've never done something like this before, but I would love it if you guys could all try on your side. So if you could try and rearrange this to get into this form over here. I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes, and then we're going to talk about it, and we're going to see who lands up getting it right and who didn't, and why some of the answers are right or wrong. Okay. Yeah, Tiana, how can I help?
Babe, so like if we rearrange it, like what will the y still be with the 2?
Yeah,
Like the
so when you
2.
rearrange it, but when I want your final answer, I don't want that 2 next to the y.
Okay, babe.
Okay. Moabi, yes.
Ma'am, so wouldn't you put y and the x together and then the numbers on the other side of the equal?
No, so we want the y to be alone on the side, and then we want everything else to be on the right-hand side.
So ma'am, wouldn't you put y alone and then you solve for the x and then you solve the rest of the sum so that you wouldn't have
Yeah,
an
so
x?
we won't be able to solve for it because we won't be able to get a number. We're going to land up with an equation, but all you need to do is move things. So you're going to move things around until it looks more like this. So at the moment, it looks like this: 2y minus mx plus c equals 0. And I don't want that. I want it to look like that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Keiko, can I help? Oh, I think you're having a headphone issue. Sometimes it helps if you pull them out. You can stay unmuted and see if you can work it out. And when it comes through, then you can just start talking and we'll see if we can hear you. Okay, so I'm seeing my first answer so far. I'm going to write the answers as they're coming in. So I've got 2y equals 3x minus 6. That's our first answer. As you have an answer, write it in the chat, and we're going to talk about which ones are right and which ones are wrong.
I see my people are focusing. Let's do this, guys.
Good.
Anna is writing it down. See you go. Do it.
Okay, so we've got another one here, which is y is equal to 3 over 2x minus 3. y is equal to 3 over 2x plus minus 3. Y is equal to 2y is equal to negative 3x minus 6. Jasmine?
2y is equal to 3x plus 6.
Okay, 2y is equal to 3x plus 6. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give you 1 more minute and then we're going to go through this one. Nintendo. Hello? Hello?
Oh, ma'am, isn't it y is equal to 3 over 2x minus 3?
Okay, so that's the same as this one over here. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll go
Okay,
through them
ma'am.
all. Don't panic. Okay. Okay, and our last answer that's come in is y is equal to negative 3 over 2x plus 6. Okay, let's go through these and see which one's which. Okay, I can tell you one of them is correct. So let's write our equation. We've got 2y minus 3x plus 6 equals 0. So what we know is we need to keep our y on the left. So we need to keep him on the left and we need to move everything else over. Okay, so we're going to move our 6 over and we're going to move our minus 3 over. So we're going to have 2y is equal to, now when it moves over, it's going to change sign. So it's going to be equal to 3x minus 6. Okay, so that's our first step. So if you got there, that's a really good first step. But I don't want 2y, I want y. I want that y to be alone. Okay, so if I have to divide that by 2, so that my 2 goes away, I have to divide that by 2. And I have to divide that by 2 because it's an equation. What we do to one thing, we have to do to everything. Okay, so those 2's are going to cancel. And so we're left with y is equal to 3 over 2x. And then negative 6 divided by 2 is going to give me negative 3. So those of you who got to this answer, you are 100% right. And those of you who didn't get to that answer, I hope through this process, you were able to see why that was the right answer. But this is quite a nice question. It often comes up in tests and it throws people off, but it doesn't have to. So just think about it as a rearranging of an equation and it might make it a little bit easier to do.
Yeah, well done, my people. You guys did well.
Yeah, and there were a number of you who got this, which is great. Okay, so now let's look at the second part of this question. The second part says, is the line in A, so this line in the square that we've just figured out, is it parallel to the line y equals 3 over 2x? Give a reason for your answer. So I want to know, are these two lines parallel? So is the line y equals 3 over 2x minus 3, is it parallel to the line y equals 3 over 2x? Yes or no? Are these two lines parallel?
Ma'am, I say they are not.
Okay, why do you say they're not?
Ma'am, because parallel means that they are similar. And if the minus 3 is not there, then they cannot be parallel.
Parallel does not mean that they're similar. It means that they have the same slope. Just be careful
Okay,
with
ma'am.
that. Just be careful. Yeah. What do we think, guys? Do we think these are parallel? Fatu, do we think that they're parallel?
Yes, ma'am, they are parallel.
Why?
Because the gradient is the same. It's
Yes.
3 over 2.
Yes, 3
Yes,
over 2.
oh,
Okay,
well
good. Yes. So these lines are definitely parallel. So when we were answering this, we would say yes, they are parallel because the gradients are the same. Okay. Both of my gradients are 3 over 2, which means they have the same slope, which means they are parallel. Nice job. If you'd like to take a photo of this, a screenshot, please feel free.
Shine, take a screenshot, it will help you.
And then we will move on to our next one. See, we're gonna come back to these, don't panic. I just want to find one which is also about parallels. Here we go. Okay, well, it's a little bit different, but it's sort of, we'll add to it. Okay, so this one's going to be really nice practice after what we've just spoken about, okay? So you've been given this equation over here, negative 3x plus 2y equals 5x minus 4. And they're asking you to rewrite this equation in standard form. So basically like what we just did. So I want you to practice what we've just learned now, and I want you to rewrite this equation in its standard form. And when you have your answer, I'd like you to put it in the chat for me, and we're going to see who manages to get this right. So hopefully, if you got it wrong the first time, then you'll be able to see where you went wrong, and you'll be able to fix it for this question here. Let's see how it goes. I know, Marby, our time just disappears. It's crazy. Marula, are you saying no? These classes shouldn't be longer. You're saying no, I want to go home. I don't want to do more math. Okay, so we've got our first answer coming in. Just going to write it in on the side over here. Let's see if you'll end up agreeing or disagreeing.
No, it's the first time that majority are agreeing with one answer.
No, I don't think this has ever happened before. I can't feel your bum after the hour.
Can't take this for.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
So great.
Wow, everyone is voting on the same answer.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so I think we're all in agreement here, but let's just quickly go through this one together. Okay, so we've got negative 3x plus 2y equals 5x minus 4. So we are wanting this one to be alone on one side. Okay, so I'm going to take that 3x and I'm going to move it over. So I'm going to have 5x plus 3x minus 4. That's going to give me 8x minus 4. And now I need to divide everything by 2 because I want my y to be alone. Okay, so those 2's are going to cancel. And we are left with y is equal to 4x minus 2. Well done, everyone.
Well
nice
done, guys.
job.
Ooh.
Okay, so just be careful with your signs there, but overall, really good job. Very, very chuffed. Very, very chuffed. Okay, let's jump into a brain break and then we'll do some different types of questions, but you're doing really nicely. Good job. If you want to take a screenshot, please feel free. And then I'm just going to jump up to our brain break.
Shine, shine.
Okay, cool. Brain break time.
Yay.
It looks worse than it is. I promise it's not so bad. I want to know what this question mark is.
When I see these crying faces, I just wanted to tell this class that, hey, guys, today we had Alvarez.
I know. Yes, guys, Alvarez was in the last class. We were so excited.
Yeah,
We're like,
we were
hello.
really excited.
So now you know that he's still fine and well. Everything's
Yeah.
okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
could we get a decimal for like one of the symbols?
No.
Okay.
Robbie will tell him. The first one is not 11 plus 11 because those are different faces. So just be careful, Robbie. Oh, Fatima is coming in strong. Fatima, do you feel comfortable talking about how you got to where you got to?
Chilo is on the line also.
Chilo, what did you get?
Wait, ma'am. I just have one question, right? See
Okay.
the emoji at the top left, right?
Yeah,
I have a feeling it's 14.
14.
Yes.
This guy here.
Yes, 14.
I agree. Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right. Think.
Okay. Fatima, yes. Can you talk us through how you got to your answer?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
So the first thing that I did, I divided 100 by 20, which then got me 5 for the dude with the two colored glasses
Cool.
thing.
Yeah.
And then I minus 5 from, oh wait, I forgot what I did now.
The 13 minus 5.
Yeah, no, sorry. I then took 280 and divided it by 20, which then got me 14. And then I took 22 and subtracted 14, which then gave me 8.
Good. Okay. That's it. Now
Then
what happens
for-
at the bottom?
For the sum, for the two, the movie glasses, I think it is, it's
Yeah.
going to be 10 because it's two
Good.
of the same thing.
Excellent.
Then the next one will be 7 since it's only 1.
Good.
And then the following would be 8. which is then
Perfect.
78.
Nice job. Well done. Very, very well done. Good work. So hopefully you guys could see Fatima did that so quickly. It was beautiful. It was really, really nice. We've got one other quick brain break today for the dingbat back. So you got a question with a dingbat and it's a sentence. And Yolanda, we're going to go with your answer. You know what the answer is. We're going to go with your one. So just so you know. Okay. Dingbat time. I would like to know what the sentence is for this one.
Let's do it.
I want to know what the sentence is. Let's see who can figure it out.
Going crazy. It's the first one.
Going is somewhere in this, but it's definitely not just going.
It has to be like a common saying, guys.
It's only 3 words. That might help. Oh!
Tando got it.
Oh, quickly!
That was quick, Tando. Well done. He like just nailed it from the start. We didn't even have 2 minutes with this
If you
thing.
said Intando, yeah, hi, well done.
Well, ma'am, we did do this in the last lesson, so.
What?
No, this one.
No, not this one.
Oh, you mean a different dingbat?
Yeah.
Was it?
Actually,
Did I do it, guys? Am I losing my mind? Did I give you guys this question on Tuesday?
I thought
no.
it was the other grade.
The other class. Okay.
Yeah,
me
too.
I'm not losing my mind. Okay. Whew. Okay. So I haven't given this to you before. Nintendo, where did you see this?
Well, on Tuesday.
Oh,
Were
wow.
you in the other class though?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
I
okay,
could
okay,
be
okay,
because they
okay.
did the changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
okay,
that
that's fine then. But now you've just given it away, you sneaky ninja. Okay, but yes, this was going in circles, guys. Or you could have said going around in circles. Both are fine, but going in circles. Yeah, unfair. Agreed. Okay, nice work, guys. Let's jump back into some math. Let's jump back into some math. So I'm gonna have to stick to the same ones on the same days for the 2 different classes, so that
Yeah,
no
because
one.
you're gonna get them confused.
Exactly, Robin. Tana was a sneaky banana over there. Very sneaky banana. Okay, let's have a look at these ones. Okay, so this is like now we're just doing some mixed questions, which is like just good revision from the work that we've done so far. So I would like to know what my equations of these 2 lines are. So the one is nice and easy because they've given you the y-intercept, so you only have to find the gradient. And the other one, we have to find the gradient and the y-intercept, okay? So I want to know what my equations are for these 2 graphs. You can get going on them. And when you give me your answer, you can give it to me in a color. So you can say the pink one is this, the green one is this. And then we're going to go through these 2 together. So this is just some revision of some of the stuff that we did earlier in the course. Yeah, exactly. Rewinding.
Ma'am, I'm actually really lost. Yo, I forgot.
Oh no. Remember, when we look into the most important thing here is to, oh gosh, now I'm writing in green on the pink side. Anarchy happening over here. Okay, remember when we are looking for gradients, we're looking for the change of y over the change of x. That might help.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. And just remember what these coordinates would be over here. So this would be -2 and 0, and this would be 0 and -2. That might help you guys.
Ma'am, you triggered my memory.
That's good.
Good. Fatu, yes, how can I help?
Ma'am, what are we supposed to calculate?
I would like.
I lost
Yeah, ma'am, you
connection, ma'am,
are.
so I didn't hear anything. I lost
Okay,
connection, so I didn't
okay,
hear.
that's okay. I would like to know what the equations are for these 2 lines. So I want to know what the equation for the one on the left is and the equation for the one on the right. Hopefully that helps.
So Jen, our class grew. I don't know if you can realize it.
I know, we're on 46 now. We used to be on 19.
You know?
Amber, hello, how can I help?
I have a question, ma'am.
Ask away.
With the green side, are we also going to be doing y2 minus y1 as well? Okay, then I have my answer.
Okay, good. Keep it there, keep your answer. We're going to go through them together now, okay?
No problem.
Beautiful. And Tando, be careful. That gradient is not right for pink, but your y-intercept is looking good.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
where do I even start? I'm like so lost.
Start by finding your gradient.
Ma'am, is this gonna be in today's quiz?
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Yeah,
I'll do
of
it.
course this is going to be in today's quiz, because this is like, today's quiz is a bunch of
Oh,
all
okay,
mixed
ma'am. Right, it's fine.
questions.
0%. It's fine.
Yusuf, no.
Nah, ma'am, I forgot.
We're going to go through it. You'll be fine. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to work through the pink one first, and then I'm going to give you some more time to do the green one. Okay, so for the pink one is our easy one because they've given us our y-intercept. Okay, and because they've given us our y-intercept, we actually already know that c is -2. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to find our gradient. Now remember, when we are looking for our gradient, we need our change of y over our change of x. Okay, so I'm just going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so our gradient is the change of y, so -2 minus 0 of our change of x, which is 0 minus -2. Okay, -2 minus 0 is just -2. 0 plus 2 is 2. -2 divided by 2 is -1. Okay, and we know our c is -2, so then this equation is going to be y equals -1x minus 2. Now, there's a few things about this that will help us know that our answer is correct. Okay, first thing is that our gradient here is negative. And if you look at your graph, it is going down. It is a descending graph. And because it's a descending graph, our gradient has to be negative. Okay, so we know that that's right. Well, we don't know necessarily that our 1 is right, but we know that it's negative, which is helpful. Our c is -2. We can see it goes through at -2, so we can feel quite confident that this is good. Okay, so our equation for that pink graph is y equals -1x minus 2. Now that we've gone through that, you should be able to try the green one. Robbie, stop talking about your math death and focus on the green graph. When you're working with your green one, remember your first step is just to find your gradient. That's the first thing. Just find your gradient.
So, ma'am, we must only look for the gradient.
No, you also need to find C, but the first thing you do is you find your gradient, and then you can find C.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Tiana, hello.
Hello, ma'am. I just wanted to know where does the -2 come in? I like the equation.
In the pink one.
Yes.
Where did this -2 here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's C, and C is your y-intercept. Your y-intercept is where your line crosses the y-axis, and it crossed the y-axis at -2. That's why C was -2.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Sure.
Let's do this, my people. We can do it. We can. Teacher Jenna, we're gonna do the poll for the other thing today. I mean, in this class.
Yolanda, thank you. I had forgotten, so thank you. We'll do it after this green question.
Okay.
Fatu, we've come around. Yes, we have lights coming on. Good. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole one. I'm going to start with it so you can see if you're on the right track. For the green one, we're going to start with our gradients. I'm just going to say x1, y1, x2, y2. So -4 minus 0 over -2 minus 6, which is -4 over -8. Ooh, yes. Which is
my
positive a half. Good, nice. Okay, so m is going to be positive a half. That's our first step. Once we have m is equal to positive a half, we can pop that into our equation. And now we need to try and find c. And we find c by subbing in one of our coordinates. So you can sub in this one, or you can sub in this one. So whichever one of those you want to sub in, you can sub that one in, and you're going to find c. And then you're going to tell me what my equation is. You'll be fine. Don't panic. Okay. So I'm going to sub in. I'm going to sub in 6 and 0. You don't have to sub in. You could sub in the other one. Okay, remember this is x and this is y. So I'm going to say 0 is equal to a half times 6 plus c. A half times 6 is equal to 3. We're going to move that 3 over, and we're going to see that c is equal to -3. So our equation is going to be y equals a half x, oh goodness, minus 3. Half x minus 3. So I see some people got there. Some people, I think, made some dividing mistakes. But hopefully we are making some progress. Amber, yeah.
Ma'am, with the equation thingy, I put brackets. I added brackets. That's where my mistake was.
Where did you add your brackets?
With -2 minus 6, I said -2 minus in brackets -6. Then also with -4.
Okay, so just be careful because that 6 isn't negative. So we're not minusing a negative, we're just minusing a positive.
All right.
So we only have brackets when we're going to minus a negative. When we're minusing a negative, then the negative needs to be in brackets.
So if it was 0, minus -4, like would that be in brackets?
That would be in brackets, yes.
Okay, I see. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Guys, we're going to just do a very quick poll. It doesn't mean it's the end of the lesson, so please don't disappear after this poll. And please try and answer it as quickly as possible so we don't waste sort of math time. Hopefully we'll have time to do another question after this. In the poll, all it's asking is this work that we've been doing now, these like straight line graphs, have you done them in class? Have you not done them in class, or are you currently doing them in class? That's all the poll is asking. Okay, so you just say yes, no, or currently doing it. All right, but don't disappear after you've done the poll. We're going to do it quick 6. Yolanda, you can pop it up.
Yeah, today it's actually quiz day today, guys. So
yeah, so we've gotta get moving. There we go. Okay, so just yes, you've done it. No, you haven't done it, or you are currently busy with it. Answer, and then we can carry on going.
we're getting there. Let's do the votes. You guys are doing great, by the way. And it's nearly weekend. I'm excited. Okay, let me just take a screenshot.
Okay.
Done.
Cool. Okay. Let's see what other question we can find. What do I want you to work on? Should we draw a graph? I think let's draw a graph. We haven't drawn a new graph today. Okay. So for this one, it's going to be probably the last question we have for the evening. I'm wanting you to draw this graph. So I'm wanting you to draw the whole thing. And in order to draw the graph, you're going to start by finding the X and Y intercepts, okay? So you're going to start by finding your X intercept, which is when Y is equal to 0. You're then going to find your Y intercept, which is when X is equal to 0. You're going to give me coordinates for both of them when you're finished, and then you're going to draw that graph, okay? So just do it step by step, X intercept, Y intercept. And let's see.
Okay, my people, you guys are doing great. Muabi saying 2 minutes weekends is here. We come. I agree.
Tiana, how can I help you, that?
Babe, can I like answer the question?
Yes, keep your hand up and I'll unmute you in 1 minute. I just want to give everyone a chance to finish.
Okay.
Okay. So alternating and complementary angles is what we're going to be doing in geometry, which is our next course, not this course. So we'll get there. We're just not there. Ava, Tiana has beaten you to the punch here. But if for some reason Tiana does something wrong, then I will call on you to help out. You can be her phone a friend.
Standby, on standby, they call it.
Okay, all right, let's start going. Tiana, we're all yours.
Okay, babe. So first we're gonna look for the x-intercept. It makes y 0. So we're gonna say 0 equals 3x plus 3.
Beautiful. Okay.
And then we're gonna put the 3x on the other side and make it negative 3x
Okay.
equals 3. Then we're gonna divide both by negative 3.
Okay.
And then x equals negative 1. So the
So what are my
coordinate
coordinates?
will be negative 1 and 0.
Beautiful. Okay, y-intercept.
Y-intercept, and then we're gonna say y equals 3 in brackets 0 plus 3.
Good.
Then y equals 0 plus 3, and then y will equal 3.
Good. Coordinates?
Coordinates will be 0 and 3.
Beautiful. Nice job, Tiana. Perfect.
Well done,
Perfect.
Tiana.
Yes. Okay, now that we have got those coordinates, I now would like you to plot this graph. So I want you to draw your axes. So you're going to draw your x-axis and your y-axis. And I want you to plot these 2 points. Plot these 2 points, connect your dots, make sure that there's arrows involved, make sure you name your graph properly.
Don't forget to label your graphs.
Okay, let's plot this out. So we got -1 and 0, which is going to be here, and we need to make sure we give the coordinates. Then we've got 0 and 3, which is up here. When we give those coordinates, we need to take our ruler and draw a nice straight line. We're going to put arrows on both sides. We're going to make that line nice and long, and we are going to give it its name somewhere on that line. So y equals 3x plus 3. Okay. Okay, now guys, before you start thinking about the quiz, So before you even look at the quiz, with these questions, I can see by the time that you're finishing your quizzes, and yes, I am being that kind of stalker, you're rushing through them. So you're just trying to get them answered and then get them done. Not everyone, but some people. But that doesn't help you, okay? Especially when it comes to straight line graphs, you need to actually take the time to figure out what your answers are going to be. So it's best to sit there with a piece of paper and figure out a couple of things. Because remember, I especially am going to write answers there which look like they could be right. And then you have to, I'm trying to trick you, okay? So you need to do the questions properly so that you know what's happening. Don't just try rush through it and get through it as quickly as possible. It's not a race. Spend time, make sure you're happy with your answers before you select and go on to the next one. Okay, just send to yourself and spend that time making sure it's good. But nice job. This brings us to the end of straight line graphs, which is functions and relations.